Good morning. My son bought this outlet. It's a 20 amp outlet, which is kind of unusual for inside of a house, but it has two USB connections in it, and he always uses a plug-in wall wart type USB charger. So he bought this and wanted me to put it in. Now this was $12.99 with ITC price, which is kind of expensive for this, but I think you pay more because it's a 20 amp circuit, and I think it's done that way because it's meant for a shop. Typically a house is only 15 amps. But it's built-in plate cover. It's kind of big. I'm hoping it'll fit in the outlet. So I'm going to go put this in, and I did the introduction out here because it's kind of cramped where I'm going to put it. I'm going to try two different drivers. This is the Bauerlein 20 volt driver. This is the Warrior 18 volt driver. This one's a lot lighter than this one, and the speed control seems to be just a tad bit better. Maybe I'm just more used to this. I'm more used to this one, so I have more control over the speed control. But this one, it's kind of new, so I don't have as much control. But it's just as easy to become accustomed to this one with use. So that isn't a downgrade or anything like that. So let's go install this. There's my son set up now. He's got an attachment in that lets you plug in two USB devices and charge them. He went and bought this one to replace them. I know the light's bad in here, but I've only got the bedroom light on. I'm going to go flip the breaker, and that light off will tell me that I've got the right breaker. Okay, so I turned off the right breaker, and I turned on the lights that I have for this project. I'm not going to say they're perfect, but that's what I got to work with. I went ahead and opened the packaging using a pair of scissors. These can be very difficult to open by hand. You can do it, but it's a lot easier with a pair of scissors. I didn't notice until I was opening these up, but they've got a cover over the blade inserts. So that's an additional safety feature. A normal outlet doesn't have those. Well, at least the normal ones I buy don't. This is the adapter my son had. It lets you use the existing plug. It gives you a single 2.1 amp and a single 1 amp. And you use those to charge your phones. Now those have to be USB intelligent devices or it won't charge your phone. So that's the joys of having an engineer for a son. Now I never use a driver on this for two reasons. One, it's really not necessary. It's not a very big screw. And second, it's easy to cam out of this and scar the outlet cover. On the other hand, I have no problems using it on this one. I pulled that out because there's tabs behind that to control the spacing. If you don't pull that out as you go, those tabs will come off and you won't be able to use them. And while I am taking this one out, and I'm not worried about it for this one, I am worried about it if I reuse this outlet. Now, these outlets were replaced 2 years ago when we bought the house. If you buy an older house, and this one was built in 87 or 88, so it's about 30 years old, the outlets that were in it were worn out. You would plug something in and it would fall out. That's a sure sign the outlets are worn out. And that is actually a fire danger. If you have an outlet that doesn't hold a plug in naturally, try several plugs because some plugs are worn out. You need to replace these because it is a fire hazard because it is essentially a loose connection. So let's try this one. So I got pretty good control of speed. I'll try that on this one to see what kind of speed control I get. For me, it's a little harder to go slow, and I've got it on the slow setting. Try it again. That was better. I think it's just getting used to it. Okay, so here's the outlet. There's the ground. You can't see that very well. There's the ground. Okay, the ground on this is actually kind of funny. It won't come out of that hole automatically like the You would think it would. So you actually have to bring it up and hold it. Get your ground wire put under it. It's a little funky. So once you finally get that on there, it's a little awkward. I would expect when you unscrew the screw, it comes out. Okay, I would expect that screw to screw out and space itself out, but it doesn't. It's kind of odd. I've not seen those, but then again, I don't do electrical work a whole lot. But it's in good now. Actually, I don't like the way it's in, so I'm going to adjust it. Just want to be sure you get great contact. There you go. Now down at the bottom, it has white and hot, and that's fine. The problem comes in if this wasn't an outlet at the end of the line, I would have difficulty putting 2 wires on that. So that is it. And that screw there did the same thing. Look at that. It comes out and it goes in. I personally don't think that's normal. You strip off the insulation and put them on here, make sure none of the insulation is under the screw. If you are, it makes a very weak contact and actually creates a fire hazard because it doesn't make good contact and the wire could potentially come loose. And I'm sure an electrician is going to see this and think I'm crazy, but it works, it's up to code. Maybe they could do it easier, but the end result's going to be the same. I still think that's unusual to have that screw go back in. To me, that's a lot of extra wire. I'm not going to change it. These outlet boxes aren't very deep. They're like a polycarbonate of some type. So I actually don't know if there's going to be enough room in here for this outlet cover. I don't like to use a cordless screwdriver for this because you can mar the plate very easily. Now, as I said earlier, I have no problems using it there. So I got the top one in, I need to get the bottom one in. Now this did not install flat with the wall. This one's in just a little bit. With a normal outlet, I would stick a screwdriver back in there and bend these tips. But with this one, I'm not so sure I can do that. It's straightened up okay. So it's an even distance reveal here. In case you're wondering, I normally would never try to do an outlet replacement in this position, but it's the only way I can do it and the camera still get the action. You have to line up your screw slots. Now, whether they be up or down or side to side, just needs to be the same throughout the house. If you normally don't do that, you obviously don't live with someone that has OCD and complains about them. And actually, I set a little trap. I put them side to side. It won't take her long to notice they should be up and down because that's the way the rest of the house is. But it's just a little test. So no longer need to have this. So let's go turn the power on. Okay, I'm not quite crazy enough to plug my iPhone 8 into that to test it. So I'm going to test it with an iPhone 5 that doesn't work on the network anymore. Immediately comes on and says it's charging. Okay, both sides work. Seem to do okay. Now those are both 2.1 amp chargers, so they're both quick charges. So there we go, done. It's got those safety covers, and it makes it very hard to get these on. You gotta really want to plug those in. I don't think it gets easier as you do it. Yeah, it's got those safety covers, make it difficult. But at the same time, it would make it very difficult for a baby to put a piece of metal in there. I'm sure that's what that's intended for. So that's how you replace this with an outlet. And they're only $12.99, which I thought was expensive, but seems to be kind of cheap. So if you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.